deeper into this now. We have an attacking genius with us, as Maurice Ashley has Garry Kasparov.
You said it right, Alejandro. Truly an attacking genius, and he started coming in here by showing me one of his vintage lines that we will show you in a moment. First of all, Garry, welcome back to the show. We know you're back in Zagreb for the Young Stars program.
Yes,
just give us a little update on that.
Yeah, it's a traditional program in the United States. Kasparov Chess Foundation has been running this program for over a decade, and we have already, I would say, third generation of young rising stars in the U.S. And it's our first international session. So it's the 6 Europeans here, so 1 girl, 5 boys, and we hope it will become traditional as well. So it's an attempt to actually spread our experience and the traditions of Soviet chess school that we incorporated in the United States to the rest of the world.
You said Europeans, not just Croatians. We saw one youngster, Robert Kranga from Romania. So you have other countries as well.
No. Croatia is actually Croatian. You know, it's unfortunately doesn't have young stars of that caliber. So we have a kid from Denmark, Poland, Romania, France, Slovenia, and a girl from, she lives in Russia, but she represents Kazakhstan. So that's our collection here of six stars.
Truly international.
Absolutely international, yes. So and again, that was an idea that just to make sure that Kasparov Chess Foundation will operate just in all continents, and I'm quite proud that now we can extend our programs from just from offering help for schools to actually offering assistance to young stars.
Now we see Croatia being a host to that event and this event. Earlier, we had the chief of staff of the prime minister on, and he was extremely excited, exuberant about the fact that chess was at this level here in Croatia.
When I got my Croatian passport 5 years ago, so I promised to make Croatia the center of chess activities in the region. And I have to say that I did not expect this kind of reaction, exuberant reaction from Croatian public and Croatian officials about Grand Chess Tour event. And now they're talking about making it a traditional event, which is, again, it's challenging because next year will be a very crowded year with candidates, World Championship, Olympiad. So we will most likely have a shorter version of Grand Chess Tour simply because we cannot, put, all the events, inside this packed calendar. But naturally in 2021, we'll be seriously considering coming back to Zagreb because they really want this event to become sort of a crown jewel of our activities, Kasparov Chess Foundation activities in Croatia and in the whole region.
I gotta say, it's been a beautiful city and a wonderful reception so far. Let's get to the games. You really had your eye on this game with the Magnus, yes. And you came in with one of these crazy wild variations that we just got to share.
I love to see this H4. It seems to me that this H4. You said a couple of days ago that just now nobody is just is surprised to see H4 at move 6 or 7, so at a very early stage, and Magnus played chess that is, I wouldn't say typical for him. So it's more like, Tal, Kasparov, but not Magnus. But I was, quite pleased to see him, having such an attacking, aggressive attitude. But I could feel that he missed something. So that's why when I looked at the position when Mamedov took on d4, so I wasn't just on my tablet. So I just said, that's okay. This is natural one is just this to put bishop on c4, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's after queen c7. So this is the queen c7. So I didn't see queen b3. So that's because it's again the way our mind works. So I wanted to go there,
kill the king,
and instantly I wanted to play queen g4. So queen g4, and this is because the idea is that now if black takes on c4, then there's this whole idea: rook h8 check, bishop h8, queen h4. Now queen c3, bishop d2 doesn't help, and king g7 we actually push e5. So I love this line. Unfortunately, as you just pointed out, that is after knight g7, it's just the attack comes to an end, and it's a draw.
Here comes the knight.
Yeah, but still,
it's still a spectacular line.
It's a spectacular line. But
you smelled it, the killer instinct.
But actually, it's not typical for Magnus because it's everything depends on one move, and Magnus is very good in just in squeezing his opponents. And now I don't know how comfortable he is at this very point. I think it's where we are here is now, but it's again the way he plays. It's not his game. So that's why again, anything can happen in this game. So this is considering, the way they play, a lot of, fighting spirit, but very often, mistakes. Just anything can happen. It's in this game, anything of the results can be fixed.
You said something intriguing though. Magnus, we all know he's got that style, the boa constrictor. He's going to last forever and beat you. But lately, he's been crushing people with mating attacks, especially with black. What's going on? The evolution of his style? Is he starting to lean, as you see here, he played H4. Is he starting to lean more to the aggressive style?
Look, first of all, that it's more and more difficult to actually get, promising positions without taking risk. So Magnus knows it. And look, I was in this high atmosphere 25 years ago when you are not just 100 points ahead of anybody else. So when your average rating is 100 plus points, the average rating of the tournament 100 points below than yours. So you have to take risk. So that's why I think there's some sort of a conflict between his natural style, but also his fighting spirit. He wants to win, and he knows he has to take risk. And again, I'm grateful. I think we all should be grateful for him that instead of just trying to play for +2, +3, he's fighting in every game. So I think he spends more time at the chessboard than any other player. That's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. And I think that's, whatever happens in this game. So I'm really happy that, we could see world champion just taking this risk. And ready to, just to play this very aggressive chess, because it's just not important for him just to win, but it's important for public to see that, again, classical chess is not dead. It's all about your attitude. If you're willing to take, your chances and risk, so anything can happen.
What are your thoughts about Nepomniachtchi in the stage he's at right now? He went off to a flying start at 3 points, but his play has been a little bit shaky.
He's lucky. That's just what, but no, that's the lady luck, could have strange preferences. So, if you look at the quality of the games, there's nothing to be proud of, but at the end of the day, who cares? He has +3, and today he was lucky again. At move 10, he was already worse, and at one point he was just sliding downhill, and I think Karakin could deliver, but he failed. So we'll see. So it's this again with Nepo is he can win many games, but he can start losing games. That's we know that's his nature. But again, that's good because it makes the whole event unpredictable. So we are just we are in the middle of the event that could end up with any result. So again, I think Magnus is still a favorite. Though again, we'll see what happens in this game. But it's the factors that Nepo is taking a lead with, this was +3 after 4 rounds. It's just, and the fact is that Magnus somehow showed, I think, his vulnerability when he played Vichy. I know what's happened, I was there many times. Great game, totally outplayed Vichy, and then he relaxed. He already had a full point, I won the game, and Vichy, give him credit. He found that's this is unique study-like draw. So it's just world champion is a world champion, even ex-world champion. So I think everybody enjoyed the game. So it's I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece, but it showed that 2 great players, they fought to the very last pawn.
Well, you're used to seeing that happen with the greatest of the greats. One last question on the rivalry between Fabi and Magnus. We saw them play a terrific game as well, trying to the very end. You had a rival back in the day. It's not quite there yet. You had 170 games against Karpov. What do you think about this rivalry, #1 and #2? Is it one you're going to see last for another 5-10 years?
Look, I can tell you Magnus will be there. So now it's up to Fabi to make sure he will be around. So I think that that Fabi was wounded when he couldn't deliver the decisive blow against Nepomniachtchi. So it was a very good game. He outplayed him completely. So it's interesting that he played the opening that he tried many times against Magnus was white, and he played with black. But again, something that was wrong with the position. This not evaluation. Evaluation was good for black, but psychologically, I think Fabi, he prefers, just to have very sort of clear cut, this line, and there it was a bit murky. And he just, I still don't understand why he didn't take on d5. I mean, it was so, I mean, you don't have to calculate lines, it's just, there were other wins, but you take on d5, queen takes d5, and then you play down rook c8, and just it's a forced end game, and it was technical win for black. So I thought he would do this even without thinking. You are in time trouble, grab the pawn. You grab the pawn, you protect your own pawn, and you secure, just your pawn structure, and it's technical win. Maybe nerves. Maybe just, Fabi wants to compete with Magnus, and it just, he's still missing something. So, but if you look at other players, I think Fabi is the only one who can really give Magnus a run for his money.
I just have to say one thing. The passion you still have for the game. You're so excited to see this high-level chess. It looks like you're just one of chess's biggest fans still.
Look, absolutely. So that's the passion that will never go away. So and any time I see these games like this one, yeah, it's just it's something is tickling inside of me.
You want to get in that ring? Well, thanks so much for joining us, Garry. We know you got a lot of work ahead. Anytime you want to come
tomorrow,
on.
yes. So
absolutely.
I'm curious. Next building we have this kids, and then after we do with kids, so I'll program. So I'll join you.
Stop on in anytime. World champion Garry Kasparov, always a treat to interview.
Thank you, Maurice. Thank you, Garry. And